Hello everybody, welcome to Negoterra Odyssey. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I decided to move outside again because again the weather is absolutely heavenly. And sometimes when I'm just sitting out here, I'll sit for like a half hour, an hour will go by. I'll just be listening to the birds and I'll have these, I call them wind whispers, where I'm just talking to my relatives. I read this thing the other day that if you set intentions over, say, birdseed, and then you scatter it in your yard, the birds will carry messages to your loved ones. And I loved that. Same with when we're planting plants in soil, speaking through the earth and soil. And this strange message just like arrived while I was sitting there. And I don't know if I created the thought or it was just that mind state. And it was how I am curious to the potential awesomeness of people. I really am. I can see that glimmer all the time with any conversation with anybody, whether it is, a kind of quiet sense of humor, a deep empathic ability, a wonderful creative bent that they show through writing or origami. Like, I've just noticed these things. Joni's friend Frank is always doing wonderful things with paper and cards. He knows all these card tricks, and he's one of those beautiful, quiet, gifted souls that has so much compassion and love and gentleness that it's like, I just love that company. You know what I mean? So not only the potential awesomeness with people I know, but strangers and people I see out on the street, when I converse with them, and also myself. There are moments where I just exhibit some crazy wow factors to myself. Most of the time it's when I'm doing something creative, read some of the things that channel, things I can do with my voice, just strange and weird things I come up with in terms of, like, I could build that or make that or refurbish that. Last week I did some varnishing and I was like, damn, this is like professional level, and I hadn't done it in decades, and I was like, woo. So I was really excited about that. So let's look at the cards and ask yourself today, what is the potential awesomeness that you have, that you can take notice of, write it down, and work on it, whatever it is, all those little gifts and talents that you have. So surrounded by prosperity, your attention is being drawn to the infinite nature of reality, which exists outside the known and beyond measure. So this is everything. I'll give you an example. I woke up today and I knew it was beyond gorgeous out, that the weather was absolutely perfect. But what my ego state tried to do is, oh, it's Memorial Day weekend. Everybody's boating and water skiing and sailing. And what are you going to do? Go sit in your yard? Like, that's no information to share. And I thought, you know what? In my yard, there are a million kinds of birds and groundhogs and turkeys and cats, and I love it. It's a quiet, beautiful place to work and rest and study. And I thought, why do I want to, and there's parades going on in town. I'm like, why do I want to go wrestle with traffic and parades and 10 different competing radios in a 100-foot radius down the beach, when really all I want is the sun and birds and quiet. And it was that immeasurable abundance. It is always available to us, but sometimes we think we have to seek it elsewhere. We really do. We think, oh, I don't feel so abundant if I'm not out spending or consuming something or being in a crowd, that crowd mentality. And I was like, my number one thing is I love just hearing nature and nothing else. And I thought, well, that's available in your backyard, so how about you skedaddle out there? So look around you and recognize, that all this abundance sometimes is right in our own home. Do you need to go to the store and get more food, or is your refrigerator really beyond, bursting with stuff you can already make meals with, that kind of things. I love this so much. This goes back to, I'm being curious about the awesomeness of people, looking beyond the surface. Avoid becoming distracted by surface issues. Focus on the underlying motivation, cause, or beauty in a situation. Seek ways to bring depth in your world. So to me, this definitely means, and I am watching a show right now that is like a template for this. I love watching Love Island Australia. I love Australian accents. I pretend I'm in Australia while I'm watching it. And I also like to watch for the psychology of it, where people, when they feel secure in a relationship, how they act. When they feel threatened or intimidated by something, how they respond. When they feel possessive or unbalanced, how they feel. It's such a great kind of like core study while still getting completely immersed in it. Like time disappears for me. And that's the thing. A lot of these people are asked, what do you look for? And they will begin with some very unique things. A lot of people start with, I like somebody who's humble, someone who's outdoorsy, this and that. Yet they will go for somebody that has, a couple hours worth of makeup on and nails and all of this. And it's like, it's kind of like a strange dichotomy from what they are speaking about. But that goes to show us too that as humans, we do like things that are beautiful and attractive. And let's just look beyond that. I find some of the most wonderful people out there are, they give a little gloss and polish when they can, they get their chapstick out. But my best days, I'm not kidding, I get right out of the shower, put on a t-shirt and some shorts, and I just go out. I'm not concerned about how I look. I don't waste time doing all that, especially if I'm going out on a little adventure. It's my best kind of thing. And I've noticed if there's very formal occasions and I spend a long time getting ready and I feel like that spotlight affects on me, I don't act as natural or as calm because I feel like people are kind of judging, gauging me. Oh, what does she look like? I remember going to it must have been my 30th high school reunion. I don't know, 20th, 30th, whatever. And so many people were so sweet and saying, wow, you look amazing, or you look really beautiful, or oh my gosh, just really nice things. I mean, men and women, really thoughtful and really sweet. And I thought, it makes you feel really good. And I thought, isn't it strange that we don't come out and say, oh, wow, well, we do eventually, but one of the first things we don't say, oh, wow, you're so smart and funny, or I love your company, I love your vibe. It usually has something to do with our physicality. And that's why we get that spotlight effect. And that's why sometimes we think, oh, surface level is easy. But right now, look in your life and kind of assess who are the people in there that you could say or do or just be yourself around so organically, so fun. We don't have to impress. We don't have to be performative. And how good that feels, right? We could answer the door in our craziest pajamas, looking nutty as hell, and just not even care. You're like, oh, it's just Diane, or oh, it's just Susan, you know what I mean? That kind of energy. And also, can we dig a little deeper with certain people, maybe workmates, really listen and really a present moment awareness so they feel heard and we can learn a little bit more about their life as well. I love this. Depth to your world. I was just looking around my backyard too, and I thought, you know what? There are certain things we kind of just let sit and rust and kind of deteriorate that would look so good with just a coat of paint. I was just going over my backyard and I thought, you know what? But there's also the structure. You can slap paint or varnish on something and make it shiny, but how stable is that, railing? How stable is the trellis? How stable is that? And let's make things really sturdy and safe as well as surface level attractive, that kind of things. Just taking a look around our yard for that. I also do that in terms of sometimes if I'm out spending money, I'd rather definitely have quality over quantity when it comes to anything, food, clothes, crystals, tarot decks. I like quality and quantity. No, I love this crowd. He's like bonks. You guys, I want to film a little bit and I'll add it to my next video. I'll start with that of the animal activity in my room right now. In my yard, in my room. It is pretty much my room. The groundhogs and the birds and the cats is hilarious. So I love this. It's like peekaboo. One of the groundhogs we named Jupiter, and Joni started calling him Joopy, and I thought that is so cute. I love that name, Joopy. Joopy for anything, for a cat, for a dog, for a groundhog, just the best. So polite declaration. You can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goals. It's time for you to get out there, claim what is yours, and stay in your power. Absolutely. Say aloud. You guys, I cannot reiterate enough how powerful it is to hear your own voice say something really nice and powerful to yourself. Like, I can get this job in a minute. I have the skill sets. Mostly I just say things that I feel a lot of vitality, power, energy. I feel safe. I feel stable. If you're going into a social situation, super helpful. It can be, I'm really witty. I love social energy. I'm a great listener. I usually, if I'm moving like in a big social circle, I just like to ask a lot of questions and be curious about people. Again, being curious about their potential awesomeness. Like, what are they really into? What are some of their favorite places they've traveled? Do they have a menagerie of animals at home as well? What are some of their creative interests? Stuff of that nature. Make yourself feel comfortable in your own skin to go out and kind of launch yourself into whatever you want 100% while feeling confident that you can do this, accomplish this, and have this. I like to get centered. If I'm going out in my car, I'll listen to a funny podcast. I'll listen to Chris Frangola's Cover to Cover. I love him. I like Juicy Scoop with Heather McDonald. Just funny, witty stuff. And I just get in the mood. I feel like I have friends in my car talking to me, and it just gets me in a nice social mood. So I feel, open. And I like also when I feel that way, look how people respond to you. When you just smile, it's so lovely. People are like, wow, another human being that makes them feel seen, right? That's amazing, because nobody wants to feel invisible. Isn't it nice when a stranger just holds the door for you, makes eye contact and smiles? You feel seen, and it's a lovely feeling. So let's do that for one another, Forget this head up our own butts on our phones all the time and not being aware of the person behind us that might need a door open for them. That's a polite declaration. I see you, and I'm going to hold the door for you. I love this crab so much. So you guys, that is what you need to hear today. And I want to thank you guys so much for your beautiful comments and watching. I love when I can do things outside. I think I'm going to create a little library of reads over the next couple of days out here, because it is gorgeous. It's so funny. I'm in the shade, and the only thing not in the shade is my feet. And I'm like, why are my feet red? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been sitting out here for maybe an hour or two without any sunscreen. I'm like, don't do that. Comment down below if you've ever sunburnt the hell out of your feet because you just think they're not even part of your body, or you think, oh, they'll just rough ride this out. Oh, they've got this. Your little tree climbers will take care of you. But I'm like, damn, how'd they get so red? So you guys, I love and light. Have a great day.